What's going on, guys? Kaiga here. Today we're doing PvP with Ninja. I'm going to walk you through my current build after a bunch of testing, show you some gameplay, and where I'm at right now. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to get into gameplay. That's going to be at the end. I'm going to show my 8 battles that I did on Thursday for Burning Soul Battle. I did 8 matches then, and I did 8 matches on Sunday. I recorded those as well. Let me know if you want to see those as well. But this isn't going to be my final build. I will explain the build at the end right before the gameplay, and then we'll talk about during the gameplay why I came to that conclusion. So as we're seeing right here, people are asking a lot about the build. I'm using level 8 Holy because my Rimuru is a very low star level, so I'm not using the full level 9 currently because I would lose a lot of base stats for that little bit of bonus damage, and really getting people down to 60 can be the big issue in some PvP matchups. I'm showing you where I'm at with my generations and skills right here. So I have a level 9 Slaughter. I'm using 4 and 5. So level 9 Slaughter, bunch of damage when they're under 60%. Scales really well with the Holy Echo. It would be really awesome if I got it to at least 10 to reduce the cooldown by 1 second. Then I am using a level 8 God Bless. I'm going to show you my stats as well. This is not including the God Bless and such, but the idea here, it doesn't start immediately. You have to kind of play a little cat and mouse so that you can stack up the God Bless to get that additional max stat damage reduction, and then focus on the battles. And for my 4-piece, I am using a 4 set of super strength, turning HP into attack. Big boost, especially with Gladiator as my secondary that we'll see in the gameplay. Base stats right here, level 165, a little over 5 mil, high HP, high attack, about a little above average defense. Then I have decent crit rate, ignorable. 60% crit damage is not bad, but it could be a lot higher. Crit immunity, whatever. I did build a lot into block chance, as you see, 165%, and then 22.2% block damage reduction. That is because of how this works. So as you see, if you block, it reduces the damage by 50%. Block damage reduction is additive with it, so 50 plus 22. So I will ignore 72%, and that 72% will be reduced by your ignore block. Not something people have a lot of. So if, for example, I attack myself, 50, 72 minus myself, because I'm built for it, I have 68% block ignore, so it would be like 4% blocked damage. If I attack myself, I'm built for block and block ignore. That's a big meta right now in the higher levels. I also have decent damage increase, damage reduction, HP steal rates alright, not anything to write home about. And this is the current fairy lineup. They're both kind of combos going on here. You have Rimuru and Licorice, which is a combo in itself. Rimuru, you click both of them at the same time. Rimuru locks them in place, which is enough time for Licorice to do her animation, and then they're locked up for another 4 seconds. And then you swap over, and then you have the same thing with Sakura, and because I am a brawler build and a bit tankier, that's where Hibiscus comes in, to have something in the back pocket for defensive measures. But ideally 1, 2, 3 should do a lot of the work. In these gameplays, I try to primarily focus on the ninja, just to showcase what the ninja is doing. This is the build right here. It's actually very important. You can actually set... we're not going to do auto, obviously, because it's going to be PvP. But when we talk about PvE, it's going to be very, very big having this auto set up in the correct way, especially when you take into account the chi ability can be moved around as well in whatever direction you wish. Now, I'm using full left side skills. If you want to do a bit more damage, you can swap the first skill right here in the number 4 slot. It has the number 4 next to it, with the shuriken on the right side. That will allow you to get more chi quicker, as well as do more damage. You'll see something that I end up having trouble with is I can get to the 50 chi really quickly to use the first cast of my chi, but you need to do another 100 to do the wind shuriken, and you'll see you get to some spots where you can't actually get there, especially if the enemy's actually fighting you. But with shuriken, you have no trouble hitting that second chi skill. Now let's jump into the gameplay. Alright, so 8 matches. I think 3 of them is going to be against Pac right here. As you see, there's a little bit of a gap. Most players on my server are going to be roughly that gap. Most of the players we're going to see in today's video is in that 4.6 to 4.8 range, and there will be one person at the end who's 5.3, so a bit of a gap from me. So let's jump into it. Now, as I said, I'm going to be focusing on the ninja. I'm not trying to overuse the fairies, but Pac as a player, I need to re-show that last part right there. Alright, right to where I used the chi. Boom, 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 and there. So, what's happening here is what you want to do with the chi ability is it's a minus 20% on all your skills and a damage buff. The damage buff doesn't care if you're a ninja or not. So what you can do, everything's on cooldown, chi, swap, and then come back later and then ignore the secondary chi skill, which is a huge line skill that does a pretty good amount of damage, but it locks you in place and has a lot of trouble. But you can literally just use this as a 20% cooldown, as well as a damage steroid, that you can effectively abuse this by swapping to, in this case, sword, and then coming back to ninja later and using the 50% chi again as a cooldown reduction. Boom, got the cooldown, and I'm not using the sword. I'm not using the sword fairies, primarily because I'm trying to showcase and practice the ninja. And what Pac is doing is he thinks he can one-shot me there because he shot 5 fairies on on top of each other trying to get the kill on. And this is also during where Punitive Chop has the bug going, so I'm not doing nearly as much damage with sword as I should be. That bug has been fixed. Rorona, good player. They're also in that same CP range, so there's about they're 4.7, 4.6. Boom, boom. And they're trying to lock me up with wind, where wind would also, with the new wind fairy, give you that opportunity. I'll get the question, what echo should I go if I'm not going holy? And wind, if you have the new holy, is a great option, especially in things like top league and such, where you can't use the actives, but those passes are very important, because her passive allows you to have the third skill, the silence and dash, on a super low cooldown. Now you see dash dash on top of them, and ideally I would use the double swords and swap and then go in for the combo, because the damage for the first couple seconds of that secondary class is going to be increased. Here's Pac again. As I said, I fight him 3, I think maybe 4 times. We were just queuing at the same time. And they're a good player, really close to the same CP. Boom, boom. And so what's happening here is I'm using the second, third, and fourth skill as gap closers, as well as effectively as dodges. The fourth skill has a long cooldown, but actually hits a little bit further than what it shows on the ground, as well as is really hard to target you while you're using all 3 of the skills, especially the second skill. When you dash forward, if you hit someone, you can do this zigzag dash afterwards. Very, very powerful and really hard to target you. This is how you're supposed to get that chi very quickly. The first skill, second skill, third skill all have secondary versions, and you get chi based off of your skills hitting. So if you're able to go 1 1 2 2 3 3 4, you have an amazing amount of chi going on. And we're back to Pac again, and you'll see the issue that I'm running into here, right? Where sword is doing a bunch of damage, really good CC. Get this back for you guys. Really good CC. The issue I'm running into is my opponent CC, which leads me to 2 options. There's 2 other options I need to... Well, I've tested them both. This is the one that's above me. Let's watch this one. They're about 5.4. Pull them in. Do the full combo, swap, and then do the full combo here. Dead. Took almost no damage. And that is it. That's all 8 matches. As far as the build going forward, sword is being dropped. It's very powerful as a tank class, and will still be a powerful option if you want to do something like Top League or Guild War, or even Shrine Peak, where it's you against a lot of other players. But one-on-one, it pales in comparison to some other options. A solid option, which is just always going to be good, is Priest. Give you some more protection, another shield, allows you to get more with the Cold Fire Bird and Tenacity Ball, reduce their block, reduce their tenacity, just all around good. But I am going to be leaning towards Lancer as my secondary class. I'm going to be swapping between the 2. Dragon Knight for PvP, Dragon Fighter for PvE. Let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, guys.